In 1898, an archaeologist named Wright was digging through the ancient ruins of Saqqara, the vast burial ground of ancient Egypt, when he stumbled upon an unusual object, something so strange that it seemed to defy the understanding of the time. Buried in the sands, amidst the ruins of pharaohs and their tombs, Wright unearthed what appeared to be a small, delicate bird-shaped wooden figure. At first glance, it seemed like just another forgotten artifact, a simple model or decoration. But when Wright examined it more closely, he couldn't shake the nagging thought that it was something more. The figure measured just about 20 centimeters long and was crafted with remarkable precision. Its wings were curved in a way that almost seemed aerodynamic. The shape of its tail was unlike anything Wright had seen in Egyptian artifacts before. It almost looked like a miniature version of the gliders that would later be designed in the 20th century. But how could that be? The idea of flight in ancient Egypt was a concept that had never really been explored. Could this tiny wooden figure actually be a symbol of something far more advanced than the culture's known technological abilities? The Saqqara bird was found near the Step Pyramid of Djoser, one of Egypt's oldest and most famous pyramids. Located just south of Cairo, Saqqara was home to some of Egypt's most important burials, but it was also a place where many remarkable artifacts had been unearthed. Among these were incredible tombs, statues, and hieroglyphs, but this small object stood out from the rest. For many years, the Saqqara bird sat in the British Museum, catalogued but largely ignored. Scholars were baffled, unsure of what to make of it. Some believed it was a simple toy or a model meant for ceremonial purposes, perhaps representing a deity or symbolizing the soul's ascent into the heavens. After all, birds were often associated with the gods in Egyptian mythology, particularly the falcon-headed god Horus. Yet the way the wings were designed, with an almost modern twist, began to stir a different kind of theory. It wasn't until much later, when amateur historians and theorists began studying the artifact, that the Saqqara bird became the center of a heated debate. Could this tiny wooden bird actually be a depiction of an early glider? Some speculated that it wasn't just a model, but a proto-aircraft, an ancient Egyptian design for flight. What if this object, lost to time, was proof that Egyptians understood the principles of aerodynamics, principles that wouldn't be rediscovered by modern science until centuries later? The mystery only deepened when scholars noticed the specific characteristics of the bird's design. The tail of the figure resembled the stabilizers on a glider, structures crucial for controlling flight. Its wings were not flat, but slightly curved, a feature similar to modern aerodynamic wings. A glider, after all, doesn't need an engine. It just needs wings that catch the air in the right way. Could it be that ancient Egyptians had experimented with flight, or perhaps had even developed their own rudimentary flying machines? As speculation grew, more theorists began pointing to the possibility that the Saqqara bird was more than just a decorative item. Some believed it could have been a symbol for the ancient Egyptians' understanding of flight as a divine or spiritual journey. Others suggested it was a functional model for an actual glider. Some went so far as to claim it was an artifact from a lost civilization, one that possessed technological knowledge that we've only just begun to comprehend. Among the more controversial theories is the notion that the Egyptians were not the only ancient culture with advanced knowledge of aerodynamics. If this theory holds any merit, could the ancient Egyptians have shared their discoveries with other civilizations, possibly influencing cultures like the Greeks or the Romans? The idea that the knowledge of flight was an ancient secret passed down through the ages would explain how flight was only rediscovered in the modern era. Even more captivating is the possibility that the Saqqara bird was not just an invention of the ancient Egyptians, but a piece of something much larger, a lost chapter of history, where the lines between mythology, science, and technology blur. Could the ancient Egyptians have once known more about the natural world and its forces than we give them credit for? One notable study was conducted by Martin Gregory, a designer and manufacturer of gliders. He created a replica of the Saqqara bird and performed glide tests to estimate its glide ratio, the distance it could travel horizontally compared to the altitude from which it was released. His findings indicated that the glide ratio was approximately 2.45 to 1, meaning the model would travel about 2.45 meters horizontally for every meter of altitude lost. This performance is relatively low compared to modern gliders, which can achieve glide ratios exceeding 30 to 1. Another experiment involved modifying the original model by adding a tailplane to improve stability. Despite these modifications, the glide performance remained unsatisfactory, suggesting that the Saqqara bird was not designed for flight. Additionally, a 2023 study by researchers at the Institute of Aerospace Technology, Bremen used computational fluid dynamics (CFD) simulations to analyze the Saqqara bird. The results showed that the artifact's aerodynamic properties were insufficient for flight, with a low maximum glide ratio and instability in pitch and roll. These findings further support the conclusion that the Saqqara bird was not intended as a functional glider. Despite all the speculation, the Saqqara bird still remains an enigma, its true purpose locked in the sands of time. As archaeologists continue to explore the rich history of Egypt, the bird sits quietly in the British Museum, a tiny reminder that sometimes the past holds mysteries that are far beyond our understanding. Some believe that the discovery of the Saqqara bird is a clue, a whisper from the ancients that there are truths about our history still waiting to be uncovered. The ancient Egyptians, renowned for their advanced understanding of geometry and engineering, might have been inspired by the flight of birds to conceptualize human flight. This fascination with flight is evident in their mythology, where deities like Horus, depicted as a falcon, symbolize the soul's ascent to the heavens. Observing birds' flight mechanics, ancient Egyptians could have hypothesized that replicating these natural principles might enable human flight. This observation may have led to the creation of models like the Saqqara bird, a wooden artifact resembling a bird, discovered in 1898 in Saqqara, Egypt. Some researchers suggest that such models were experimental attempts to understand and perhaps achieve flight. Additionally, the ancient Egyptians' expertise in building monumental structures, such as the pyramids, indicates a sophisticated grasp of engineering principles. This proficiency might have extended to experimenting with flight concepts, possibly leading to the development of early glider-like devices. However, without concrete evidence, these ideas remain speculative. While there is no definitive proof that ancient Egyptians invented flight, their deep understanding of natural phenomena and engineering suggests they may have explored the concept, possibly leading to early models or theories about flight. One thing for sure, the Saqqara bird and the broader concept of ancient flight have significantly influenced modern media, inspiring the depiction of gliders and similar flying devices in various films and video games. These ancient artifacts and myths have sparked the imagination of creators, leading to the incorporation of flight concepts into contemporary storytelling. In Greek mythology, Daedalus, a skilled inventor, crafted wings for himself and his son Icarus, using feathers and wax. They used these wings to escape imprisonment. But Icarus flew too close to the sun, causing the wax to melt and leading to his fall. This myth has been depicted in various forms of media, highlighting the ancient fascination with flight. In Assassin's Creed, players control Ezio Auditore, who uses a glider-like device designed by Leonardo da Vinci. This flying machine allows Ezio to glide over Venice, showcasing the game's interpretation of Renaissance-era flight concepts. The design of this glider is based on Leonardo's actual sketches, reflecting his fascination with flight. Ancient Indian texts, such as the Vaimanika Shastra, describe flying machines called vimanas. These texts detail various types of aircraft, their construction, and their capabilities, reflecting a rich imagination regarding flight in ancient times. The concept of vimanas has inspired numerous works of fiction, exploring the idea of advanced ancient technology. In the Star Wars universe, Ewoks are depicted using hang glider-like devices to navigate the forested moon of Endor. These primitive flying machines highlight the Ewoks' ingenuity and resourcefulness. The inclusion of such devices adds a whimsical element to the Star Wars narrative, showcasing the diverse approaches to flight in fictional settings. These examples illustrate how the fascination with flight, even in ancient times, has been a source of inspiration across various forms of media. The Saqqara Bird stands as a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with flight, bridging the ancient and modern worlds. Its discovery in 1898 sparked debates and inspired imaginations, leading to its portrayal in various forms of media. Whether as a symbol of ancient ingenuity or a muse for contemporary storytelling, the Saqqara Bird continues to captivate those intrigued by the mysteries of early aviation concepts.